Alright, how you guys doing? So in this lesson, I'm going to show you guys how to draw emotions, in this case, extreme anger from the side view. Now what's really important here is that when you capture, there's so many different ways to do it. Like you can get really realistic, like reality here or reality here. Or we can really start to exaggerate reality, push it to its limits. And I really like manga for this. This is kind of more manga inspired, but still with kind of an American flair to it. But they really do express emotions, to the greatest ability, and that comes from really stretching reality. We have to understand the kind of like the basis of reality. What's it's based on, so that way you know what to stretch, what to pull, you know what to exaggerate, right? Come up with your own style of expressing extreme anger. All right, so this is Neil from masterpaintingnow.com and also top selling art instructor at Udemy. And let's go ahead and get started here. So we're going to start with like a base model here for a face and just kind of a generic head here. This will be my generic head that I'm going to be using to make all the different faces. Now, when you're drawing your basic head, you want to draw with obviously your character in mind. So draw first kind of the basic side view of what you want to do, and then start building on from that. But we'll start from the basic side view and how we change certain things. What is it that makes someone look angry? And we'll go through the basic things that make a man look angry, and then we'll start to exaggerate and add on to that and get into that and push it to that extreme anger like we have in these examples here. One thing that's important, I think, to know is the teeth. So you can see here, I don't know if you can see this in red, the teeth here are not exactly matched up as they would be in real life. And I chose to do that on purpose to kind of give this more manga effect to it, this more extreme anger. So sometimes you have to be able to exaggerate anger, but you have to be able to know what to exaggerate. I'm going to mark that one red so I know it's the teeth. So if we match this up here, if he were to open his mouth, you can see what would happen here. These are the teeth you'd be able to see, and this is how it'd be from the side view. Actually, it's a slight 3/4 view. That's why you can see some of his eye over here. So it's a very, very slight 3/4 view. But it's important to understand what teeth you can see as you open his mouth. So as you open his mouth and begin to stretch his skin, what teeth would you be able to see? And as you see here with reality, this being a realistic drawing, you can see that you're only going to be able to see a little bit of the teeth and maybe a little bit of these bottom teeth down here, and then you'll be able to see the tongue. And that's it. Then you'll be able to see the inside of the cheek over here. You don't see much of the teeth because a person can't really open their mouth up in these crazy ways that we have here. But these really do show emotions, I think, in a really cool way. This is a little bit stretching reality, but still pretty realistic, where the person can actually show about this much of their teeth, but they can't really pull their mouth this way. Over here more, the muscles just don't allow for it. You can try it yourself and look in the mirror, or have someone take a picture of you from side view as you're doing extreme. So just keep that in mind. This is where the teeth are at, and this is what we'll be able to see. All right, so let's go ahead and take this face now, and I'm going to make different copies of it. I'm going to make this one. Let's go ahead and make a copy of it right here. And so I know what file or not file, but what layer I'm working on. I'm just going to go ahead and mark it as a blue for now, so I know I'm working on this file here. So the first thing we got to do is we got to change the eye. Now, what happens when a man gets angry or a person gets angry? It doesn't matter whether it's a man or woman. The first thing that happens when they get angry is their whole entire eye structure changes. So the eyebrows come down, and you get a lot of these wrinkles and stuff in here. And so from the side view, how that's going to look? Well, first the eyebrow here. Is we draw it down like this, and it kind of comes up. Now you can have, the closer you get it to the eye, I think the more angry it looks. So I'm going to get it really close to the eye here, and we're going to come up like this, and this will be the basic shape right here of the eyebrow. You might even draw a couple of these little lines right here, or even some lines off of here indicating this kind of anger coming up like that. You can even add a couple lines here. Depends, what kind of comic artist you are, more of American. You can already see the person starting to look irritated, and all I did was change the eye. Now the next thing we can do is we can change, or the eyebrow. Next thing we do, we can change the eye. And so one thing we can do here is we can add this kind of almost upward look to the lid here, and then coming down. kind of overlap that. You can kind of show the lid there if you want. I'm going to add the eye because we're in side view here. We're in extreme 3/4, so you can almost, the pupil almost touches the edge of the eye there. And then we'll leave the bottom the same. I can even add a couple lines here. I can add a couple lines here, kind of really showing the anger. You can even, you know, if you're putting in the cheek in there, different things you can do, but that's what I like to do around the eye. So just doing that, you can already see he's starting to look irritated, he's starting to look angry. The next thing we do is we can change the nose. We can really bring the nostrils of the nose up. For example, as you can see, when someone gets really mad, their nose wrinkles up here. And here also, I have a little bit of wrinkles in the nose. So we can add those wrinkles to the nose, kind of like bringing the nose up, and then bringing the nose flare up at an angle toward the eye. And again, here I'm keeping this more my style, more of a, I think of my style kind of a manga's comic mixture with my own, you know, with my own thing. Everyone, you know, develops their own idea or whatever. But anyway, so I would say that that's probably the closest thing it's related to is a manga comic. Maybe something like, I don't know, Top or Mad Cow or Top Cow, whatever that one comic book is, or the comic book company. Top Cow, I think that's what it may be. Not really inspired by Marvel so much. I mean, some of Marvel is really good. Others, not so much. I don't really like it as much. I'm going to bring the nostril up like this, and that way I can bring my flare up like that. Then I'm going to come off with my flare and have a couple more wrinkles in here. Now, what happens is typically you have a piece of skin, a flap, a muscle that comes off right here. Now, that muscle that comes around the mouth right here, that can only stretch so far in real life. So when you stretch that out, you can only stretch out so far, and that's about how far you're going to stretch the mouth open if you wanted to make the person look angry. And then, you know, I would never draw the whole line fully like that, and I would draw me a couple other little lines, maybe add a couple, you know, indents like this and stuff like that. But right, so just keep that in mind. That's the smile line. So this comes like that. So when you open the mouth up right here, and however you do that, that's where the teeth are going to be. They're going to be sitting in like that. They're not going to go past that line. You're not going to be able to see past that line. So when you draw the line of the mouth, you have to keep that in mind. So when manga is simplifying, they don't draw this line right here, but they're keeping in mind that line right there. And so when they draw this coming out like that, they're keeping in mind that's when they're stopping. It's that line intersecting. And they're stopping that and they're coming down. There's different shapes you can have. You know, they can have your teeth here. You can even have these teeth come out a little bit bigger. And you can show some of the gum here coming underneath like that, and then show maybe a couple of the gum lines here. And that's one way to kind of express anger, is just kind of basic shape right there. And that's how, like I said, manga does a lot. And you can mess with the different shapes, and again, come up with your own style. But the first thing we can do here, keep him more on the more realistic style. Like maybe we don't want him extremely angry yet. We already got him extremely angry in the upper area, but his mouth really needs to be open and showing his teeth to really show that extreme anger. What we can do though, and by the way, just for those that don't know, like I said, I have the most popular courses on Udemy, making me the top art instructor on Udemy. And if you're interested, I got a bunch of the courses. You can check them out. I actually got quite a few on sale. I don't know why my thing's being weird here. I got quite a few on sale right now at masterpaintnow.com. And this is in preparation for a course that's been in high demand, and that is how to draw emotions. And so in this course, I'll be showing how to draw anger from different angles, and how to draw extreme anger and different levels of anger, and different ways you can draw anger. So in this case, this is kind of some preparation for the side view. And let's go ahead and take out his mouth here a little bit. And typically in comic books, you don't draw a male's upper lip. It's just something you usually don't do. And if you do, it's usually like, you know, a lot thinner than a female's. I'm going to go ahead and kind of make it kind of frown down like this here. And we'll kind of bring it up like that. So, and just by doing that already, you can kind of start to see how he has more of an angry look to him. And then I'm going to take almost as if it's eraser, I have to pick the transparent and just kind of put some lines through there like so. Right, so now we have a man that's more of a realistic style, and this is kind of like, we can add a lot more lines to it. Usually, manga artist, not manga artists, but like this over here, like this face here is more inspired by kind of like Marvel or something like that, and they might add even more lines and and stuff like that to make it just really just outrageously crazy. Now, what I would do, I don't like the typical realistic jawline. I would probably change that for me. I'd probably come down and then come more straight and across. And matter of fact, I'm going to do that because this is bugging me. I don't like the way it looks. It's just not the way I draw. I don't like drawing. I mean, it's not that I don't like drawing realistically, but when it comes to comic books, I definitely have my own style, and I like to. I like to keep that style intact. So more like that there. We come with Adam's apple. Right, so there we go. Now we got a guy that's looking pretty mad. Now we got to add faces, and believe it or not, if I did this right here and this right here is almost the same thing. Now I just got to take it and make it to where the mouth. I just got to change the mouth, so I can have a mouth that's like slightly open. I want to just talk about some quick tips that you can do when you're drawing the mouth. Now keep in mind, if I open the teeth here, I can keep that realism there and have the teeth where I want the teeth to be. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and erase all this down here. Now keep in mind that what happens when someone opens their mouth, it's their bottom jaw that opens. The top teeth stay the same. The top of your head, the top of your skull is fixed. It doesn't move. It's not rubber. But when you're drawing, that's like notice this right here is it's all fixed to her skull. This is realistic. So her skull's here. These teeth never move. They don't stretch and move. It's a bottom mouth here, the bottom jaw that opens down. So the hinge is here, and the bottom is what opens and closes. That's how you chew. The top doesn't move at all. This is important. I know it seems very simple, but it's important because I see this mistake all the time where people try to move the top teeth and that are fixed. But you'll notice here I did move the top teeth, and to be kind of aligned with the bottom teeth. Now this is something that is done in manga. It's also done sometimes in American comics, and it just adds that little bit like stretching reality. Sometimes you got to figure out what looks good, So figure out how much you can stretch reality and still make it look good. So I'm going to keep those red teeth there, and I'm going to kind of, in this case, we'll go with more of a realistic approach first, and we'll see how we can kind of stretch. And obviously the eye shape is not a realistic eye shape, but that's fine. So what I like to do is with the mouth. I like to draw what is the upper shape of the mouth going to be like. So I'm going to show just a little bit like that, and we'll come down. This shape right here is typically, that kind of rounded shape is a typical shape you're going to have. And then you might come at an angle here and then come like this right here. That might be the typical shape you have for, it's almost like a half circle, but I like to come with the angle and then come like that. I'm going to show a little bit of the gums here. In the bottom lip, you can actually show a little bit of that even with the guy, so, and have it kind of come in here. And that's how much of that I want to show. And then the teeth, we're going to come here, and I like to only show the basic outline of the teeth. So something like that right there. And even that sometimes, I won't even come more like a straight line. Just really depends on style. Now the top teeth here, sometimes I'll draw a little bit more. I'm going to put a level 4 here, make it smaller lines. I like to kind of hint at where the teeth will be. So now we have more realistically where the teeth will be here. We have the lip wrapping around. Remember, it's three-dimensional, so just as just like a horseshoe, the teeth wrap around. The lip is also wrapping around as well from the side view. I like putting in this bottom part for the back teeth. I think it's important to show. And then these couple front teeth here, I'm just going to kind of show them overlapping. I think that's important to show as well. And then I'm going to just show some of this bottom here. And then the top, I'm just going to have like that. And I might show that tooth overlapping. Maybe just that full tooth here. And then these teeth again, I like to really show them. And then I'm going to just show just kind of the basic top outline there. and then that's coming down. Now some of this is usually covered by the tongue. You got to keep in mind, what does the tongue do when someone's mad? Typically the tongue comes from, comes from back here, right? And we know it comes from from behind, like down in the throat almost, like the muscle. And so the tongue comes like this, but what does it look like when someone's mad? Does it go up like that? Most likely not. I mean, sometimes it might do that, and you might want to draw it like that. So it's just keep in mind to have the teeth there first, under part of the tongue. You can actually draw the tongue like that if you want to, and then kind of have a little bit of space here, and then you need the part of the inside of the cheek there, because remember, this cheek on the other side of the mouth is being stretched. So that's one way you could do it, but typically people don't do that when they're angry. When people are angry, usually what they're going to do is they're going to have their tongue kind of come down, and it's going to kind of come right here. So I'm just going to kind of show the tongue shape like this, coming down, and then like that right there. So now it's kind of, it's covering a lot of what I just drew. That's fine. Just go over and I'm going to erase what I just drew. I do that by just switching to transparency in Manga Studio. I really love Manga Studio. I know I used to use Photoshop all the time, but fell in love with Manga Studio, and it's definitely the best for drawing. Photoshop's great for photo manipulation, things like that. And also I even enjoy this better for painting. I like to do that back lip here, and I know typically if when you draw like realistically, it kind of comes kind of far, but it has this kind of more oval shape here. Notice I'm drawing something that's not oval at all. I'm drawing this more rounded shape. This isn't something you can really do in real life, but I'm still going to kind of keep to realism. So I'm deciding when I want to stretch. And this here too, sometimes I'll come down and just like stipple where it comes down. And then I'm going to start dark back here, and then I'm going to slowly come around with lines like this, just showing that that's that back cheek there. We'll get rid of the red layer here, and now you can see the mouth. Actually, I'm going to keep the red layer there for a second for the jaw. Now that's a more realistic jaw. Again, I like to draw my jaws coming off here, like an angle like this, coming down like this. I like to show the inner lip coming in and kind of protruding the chin out. This is how I like to personally draw. And then like so. Now we can add a little more lines here if you want to. You can make it look even more angry, but you can see that adds a very angry look to it. Now we haven't deviated too much from reality, I don't think. And even this one here doesn't deviate too much from reality. And this is just really kind of doing a similar shape. It's just, the mouth isn't quite as open as much because the teeth are being closed together, like he's grinding his teeth together. He's just so mad, But yeah, so here the mouth is open like here, except I changed reality. I changed the top shape to be parallel with the bottom shape, because typically it's not. It's like you can see the teeth are like this and the bottom teeth are like that because the bottom open. You never have them where the teeth are parallel. But in real life, at least, as you can see here, the teeth are like that. That's how teeth look together. So you have this straight line going across here, then you have this angled line to that line, and because that's how the mouth opens, and that's how it's always going to be in real life. So if you want to have your comic stick to kind of realism, you can. But I like this look up here. This top left look looks really cool. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this face that we just drew, and we're just going to kind of mess with it a little bit to where we can kind of push reality a little bit more. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the whole bottom jaw again, and we'll just start over. And I think this is good practice too. It's good just to to get different looks. All right, so let's go back to number 4. Now Manga Studio is called Clip Paint Studio, in case you're wondering. Sorry about that. All right, so now what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to kind of exaggerate this a little bit. So one shape we can use is kind of more of a manga shape. So instead of drawing the shape I already drew, I'm going to kind of draw a little bit different of a shape here. And one thing I'm going to do also is I'm going to use this is the airbrush tool. And when you turn it to, you just pick the transparency here in Clip Paint Studio or Manga Studio, whichever one you have. I'm going to lightly erase it because I want to be able to see just a little bit. It helps me to draw what I want it to look like here. In this case, I'm going to have the nose kind of coming up a little bit. There's going to be a couple wrinkles in it. I'm going to have the nose kind of coming up more like this and then coming down here. So we're going to kind of go a little bit more of a manga fusion style here. I'm going to still draw the nostril. I'm going to still draw the flare. And I'm going to draw a couple wrinkles off the flare here. Now here's where we're going to really warp reality. We're going to come down and we're going to come with this outside kind of shape here where we want the mouth at. So what I like to do is I like to kind of imagine the overall shape of the mouth. So we're going to have this kind of rectangle shape, kind of like this, except for we're going to take the rectangle shape and we're going to kind of round it out. But that's the basic shape we're going to be using. So I'm going to kind of just lightly sketch in that shape here, and then we'll be rounding it out. So something like that right there. And if we have no, really there's no upper lip again, but we're going to still draw the inner line for upper lip. So we're going to kind of come like this here. I'm going to zoom in here to make it a little bit easier for me to draw. Right, so we're going to come like that right there. We're going to round this out here. Let's round the edge out, come down. Remember, everything is rounded around, so we're still going to have that kind of rounded out effect, even though we're going with something that's completely unrealistic. So we're going to kind of come like that, and I'm going to come into his jaw here, chin, come up like that. I'm keeping it thinner. The reason I'm keeping it thinner is because when you really stretch the mouth open wide like this, I feel like you have to really keep the chin. I just dropped my phone. We have to keep the chin thinner. You know what? Let's go ahead and get really crazy here. I'm going to actually take my pencil tool and just kind of quickly I want to kind of give the shape that I want here. So this is the line that's stretching. I want to come way up and way out. I'm thinking I might really, yeah, let's really just push this. Let's go crazy manga here. So let's really push this way up here like this. We're going to come at an angle like that. We'll come down like this. So I think something like this right here. Then we'll come across like that. Come in. Oops. Now we'll just come like this. We'll come in here. And we'll come down like that. So we'll have kind of a shape like this. I think that right there will work. And then for the teeth, I'm going to come, always come inside of the lip. And we're looking, straight at, we're not looking up. If we're looking up, we can actually see kind of like the kind of horseshoe shape of the upper teeth. And I'll be going through that in the course. So this just kind of comes straight across like that here. That's where the teeth are. In this case, I'm going to kind of use that kind of strategy where the teeth are kind of parallel to each other, even though in real life they don't do that. Or I might even kind of come at a slight angle for these teeth right here. And then they're going to have that kind of horseshoe shape to them. But I want to decide what I want to do with the tongue. So I think I'm going to have the tongue starting up high and then coming down like that. This will all be black here. We'll show some of the teeth here, but also I'm going to show some of the gum up here. That's why I wanted to highlight that, because I want to be able to show just a little bit of the gum line here. And notice the teeth are huge. Like, this isn't like typically how big teeth are, but that's okay because, we're stretching reality. And this is where you have to really learn, obviously, what reality, how reality works, how the face looks in real life, so you can stretch it and things like that. And that's learning some of the muscles. And I'll be going through that, like I said, in the course. So we're going to just come like this. I'm going to come like that. I'm going to come with a couple lines here. This is where I'm going to kind of start mixing the genres, where it's like a mixture between something like manga might do. I'll make this outside line a little bit darker. And then also something like American comics would do. I'm just going to kind of hint at some of the shape of the teeth here, especially those back teeth. Like that. Let's go ahead and come with the tongue here. And the bottom teeth too, I want to kind of start just to hint at some of the shape here. And then some of these teeth that come forward, and I'm going to have some of the teeth that come around back this way. I'm going to just kind of show them like that. We'll come with some dark lines here, and then we'll just kind of pull some slightly round shapes right there. And I'm going to kind of connect this, come off with that. And there's other things you can do. You can add like little sweat marks. You can add all kinds of cool stuff. But now we can see everything's the same, really. I mean, I've changed the nose a little bit and I changed the mouth, but other than that, everything's pretty much the same. I don't really like this realistic style. It looks better when you really tweak it, and that's what I wanted to show, is if you tweak how teeth work. But you first have to know how teeth work in real life, so you know what it is you're exaggerating, what it is you're molding, what it is you're stretching reality. You're either stretching it, or you're kind of pushing it together, or you're enlarging it, make it bigger than life. In this case, I made the teeth bigger than life. I've stretched the skull as if it's made of rubber, and made the teeth come at an angle where they shouldn't do that. I've even stretched his face where the nose is kind of coming up where it shouldn't come up, and you learn to like kind of just change reality a little bit. And then we can add some sort of hairstyle here. I don't know, maybe he's got some crazy kind of hair in his, and when the guy is mad, sometimes I like to really draw hair. Actually, I don't like that last part here, so I'm going to go and erase that. We're going to go ahead and erase all this in here as well. And like that. I was going to give him like kind of a longer hair, but then I decided I don't want to do that. So I'm going to come right here and just kind of have it like so. And then kind of show that hair is like shorter than the top hair, and I might even have a little bit of hairs kind of sticking out here. Again, this is done very, very quickly. As you can see, it's all in real time, but it gives you an idea. Sometimes I'll hint at certain things with just lines, like horizontal lines or kind of dashed lines, to show that muscle in the neck right here. Maybe I want to, yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe I'll kind of hint at his cheekbone here. But yeah, so there we go. That's just some quick tips. The course will go into all the the details of it, of the anatomy and things like that, and not too much anatomy, because I already got an anatomy course, and so if you want to learn more about the anatomy, take that. But this is to take that to the next level and show you how you can stretch reality and make it to where you can make really cool looking different types of faces and different expressions here. And so I wanted to do something a little different than what I did up here. I kind of took this kind of same idea. Now this shape right here is an important shape. It kind of comes like that, then it kind of comes down right here, comes across like this. This is a common shape you're going to see of the mouth. And then the teeth will usually typically come like this, and then you'll have some of the bottom teeth like that right here. And that's like the basic shape that you'll see. And if the face is like more straight, straight on, then you'll have the upper lip kind of coming out, and it's going to kind of come almost like straight, kind of slight upward like that. Then it's going to kind of come down at an angle like this. So it's not going to come straight down, but kind of down angle like that. And then it's going to kind of come around like this. This is the basic shape right here. The nose would be, fitting into this area right here. Right, so that right there. And then the teeth, it's going to come like this. That's going to be how the top teeth. And sometimes you'll even stop the top teeth because they don't actually go that far back usually. And so you might stop them like right there, and you might actually have like draw this tooth fully and then draw just a couple little teeth like that, like little lines to kind of emphasize. You might kind of show that line right there, or the nose line that's coming down, but then just kind of show it right here. And then with the bottom teeth, I like to come here. Some will draw it coming all the way back here and just kind of draw in a couple teeth like that. And then just coming all the way around here. And I like to have the bottom teeth coming out a little bit further than the top teeth. Just draw a straight line down, have it come down just a little bit further like that. Then you might have these ones back here. If you do have them be a little bit lower like this, and that just shows the outline of it like that. Then you can have the tongue be however you want. So in this case, I'm going to have the tongue kind of coming like right about here. And then you can kind of fill this in with like a shade or a couple lines. And then have the lip come around. Remember, the lip is coming around. So draw the lip coming around like so. Oops, that's too big. So like that. Draw the lip coming around. I like drawing the, jaw coming out like this, like that shape right there. Then come in like that. And you can see this is often used like on Hulk and stuff. And sometimes I'll draw a couple of the lines right like that just to show where it's coming at. But if you have this basic shape right here, it's a really good shape to use. Sometimes I like to show that coming down a little bit farther. But yeah, so anyway, hopefully that helps. This is more of like, more cartoonish. That some people would say, they would say this is more cartoonish, and this is more realistic. This is kind of borderline realistic / cartoonish. But I think that when it comes to extreme, like you could take, even if your comic is drawn in more of a realistic style, you can still take that realistic style, and then when they get extremely angry, kind of like delve into things like this. You're still drawing it all realistic, but you're really stretching the mouth and stretching reality. So that now it kind of like, still looks cool, and you're really expressing that emotion. So people can look a little bit less realistic when you're doing extreme emotions. Or if you want to, you can stick to more of the realistic looking ones like this and this here for the extreme emotions. And it still looks like they're expressing extreme emotions. It just has that I think all too real look to it. I really like, expressing my emotions more in that kind of manga style, that just really exaggerated style. And American comics have been doing it for a long time too. And this right here is kind of more like how American comic might do it, and it really does stretch and warp reality. And also got to think about different angles and stuff you can use. But I just want to show a little bit about the side view here, or the profile view. All right, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a long course, not course, a long. The course actually isn't going to be that long, maybe 5 hours or so, 10 hours at the longest, but I really want to go through it thoroughly. But what's important that I do that other people don't do, that you should walk away with, is that I don't just tell you how to do something, I tell you why you're doing that something. That is, how the teeth actually look, how the skin is wrapped around it, why it's, like the anatomy of it, stuff like that. So it's the how and the why that makes it important, because then you can use that knowledge and take it to the next level. So you can take this, for example, the knowledge you just learned right now, you can now start taking side views and go, okay, I know how the teeth actually look, and I could start stretching the skin around in different ways to show different shapes, mess around different shapes, mess around with oval shapes, circle shapes, mess around with more close shapes like this here and like this one here. So from side view, you can kind of come like this with the top lip and kind of mess around with the shape that comes down like this here, really long, and then comes across like that, and then have the teeth right in here like this, and then have the bottom teeth coming down like that, wrap around, have the tongue in here. That's that, and then these are the other teeth wrapping around. These are the bottom. Oops. These are the bottom teeth right here, and we'll just kind of add like that. Then you have the lip kind of coming around like this, and then coming up like that. Then you have the nose, whatever. And then so you can start messing around with this kind of shape, and you have the inside lip right here coming like this. That's the other side lip being stretched, and then all this right here will be dark. So you can start stretching and mess around with stuff like that. Now you got something that's totally different than before. And all I did is I stretched it long this way, and then you can come with the nostril coming up right here like that. Maybe add a couple wrinkles in here, a couple wrinkles in there, so forth. You can even draw that line, and then kind of a couple lines, and to kind of hint at where it's going to be. Come off right here, draw some extra lines, and this. Now you got this really angry looking face, and I did that really fast, but I did that because I have an understanding of the anatomy underneath it, of what I'm drawing on top of, and then what I can and can't exaggerate. And notice I exaggerated the top teeth. Instead of keeping them straight, I made them come down at an angle, so now it's almost like a Pac-Man shape, which teeth never do. But you can do that they kind of look like they kind of do in real life, because if the top teeth, they're straight like that, and then the bottom teeth come like that. But you can actually if you had a different angle, you can take that same exact shape right there, and let's say the person's kind of looking upward, for example. Then you can take that same shape, and it has that kind of kind of up and down almost shape to it, but it's not so exaggerated as what I drew it. You can take reality and just kind of bend it and have it come up a little bit like this, so your upper teeth are kind of up like that, and your bottom teeth are coming down like that. And that's not how would really happen, but as you can see right here, it looks really cool, and you can see how that would make a really cool face if I were to finish it. But yeah, so anyway, hopefully that helps you guys, and you can practice different things. Take the knowledge you learned here and try to apply it and make different shapes and see what you can come up with. In this case, make maybe longer shapes that are closer together, show less teeth, make wider shapes like this, make big wide shapes like this. Try to get really inventive with it maybe, and really kind of push it like this, and kind of really come down like this right here, like you're really pushing this idea. And come around here, and you have these couple teeth. I'm just going to do this very quickly here like this. Have the full tooth there, a couple lines like that. So now you're really pushing the boundaries here. Maybe have this is kind of more of an Italian nose here. And as you can see, we have the tongue coming here, the other part of the back part of the mouth. And I can even make the back part of the mouth even really thin like that right there. And then this will be that's like the inside cheek of the other side of the mouth. And then you can come out with that lip right here, and then come in like this, and come with the jaw. So you can see how you can really come up with different shapes and different things, and that would be for more, again, that's diving more into the kind of cartoonish look. But if that's the look you like for comics, that's really cool. So, but you can also kind of add that same shape, but just draw more realism to it. And I highly recommend, when you're drawing realistically, to never draw the teeth fully. As you can see here, I don't draw lines all the way through each tooth. It just looks really weird. So at least break up the teeth a little bit. Like even over here, I broke up the teeth. I don't want them all like together. It just doesn't look as good. Even here, you can see that I broke up the teeth a little bit with some lines, and I might even break up those teeth a little bit more, honestly. I can't remember what layer he's on. Top layer, okay. That is, break up these lines right here just a little bit more. And actually, those front teeth I need showing, but these ones I don't need to have lines going through all these. Those back ones I think I want to show, but maybe that one not so much. There you go. So now you have this. You can still make it out, and it actually ends up looking better because you took out some of the lines. And you can do the same thing even when you're, like I said, when you're doing the realistic. See, I'll have hardly any lines right here. I can do the same thing here as well. There's actually, anyway, I'm on a different layer, but I could have changed those bottom teeth too, so not so. Anyway, but yeah, you can see how you can really add a lot of cool stuff. This almost reminds you of Samurai Jack. They kind of use that shape, I think. This kind of does too, though, for some reason. I don't know why. And this kind of reminds you of something like Disney or something. I don't know. But yeah, so, all right. Just want to make sure I cover everything that I wanted to cover. If you liked this and you got some out of it and you enjoyed it, please do me a favor. Go ahead and like the video. Maybe leave a comment just saying, hey, cool, that was awesome. And then share it. Share it is really the way to help other people start to see it, because if it helped you, it's most likely going to help somebody else. So share it on your favorite social network so that other people can see it and hopefully benefit from it as well. And hopefully this helps you drawing your extreme angry faces from the side view in different types of styles. And don't worry, style comes with time. You really just gotta, you can emulate a bunch of different styles, and eventually, if you just keep like drawing from your imagination, you'll start to develop a style. If you're always looking at stuff, you most likely never develop a style. If you're looking at real life stuff, looking at photographs, looking at references all the time, then you have to learn how to draw from your mind. And that's where my courses come in. My courses teach how to draw from your imagination. And the two courses I would start with on my website, masterpaintingnow.com, the links in the description, would be Discover How to Draw and Paint Comics, and which covers all the basics of drawing. It's not just for comics, it's for everything. The first part of it is the foundation and fundamentals of all drawing and painting. It's what every artist needs to learn how to do to draw from imagination. Form, shaping, shading, shadows, lighting, perspective, all that kind of stuff. Sorry, my voice is kind of weirding out on me. And then the other one would be my most popular course, which has over 20,000 or 17,000 students now for that just that one course, is anatomy for figure drawing. That course it's huge, it's very, very long, but it's very, very thorough. It goes through everything you absolutely need to know about anatomy, where muscles attach, the bones, what bones stick out, different angles, why the arm looks this way. It's really, really thorough, really, really good. And it's right now it's on sale for $10, and like a course like that is like a whole entire university semester. Like seriously, it's really, really good, and that would be like, thousands and thousands of dollars to learn that at a school. And you can get it right now for about 10, I think it's $10 right now on sale on my website. So yeah, definitely check that out. It's what a steal, right? Normally I sell it for like 95, even at 95 or whatever I sell it for. That's still such a good deal because courses that long and that thorough, and not even nearly as good. A lot of teachers just aren't very good at teaching how to do stuff, and those that know me know my style and how I teach, so they get a lot out of it. But anyway, it's a steal even at the normal price. It should easily be $1,000 course, honestly, for everything that's in it. But I believe in helping people, and so that's why it's the price it is. Thanks for watching again. All right, I've been talking too much.